Would you hire this person? San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom has disclosed that he has to read newspaper articles twice to fully understand them, and his notes to City Hall staffers contain numerous spelling errors. When Newsom traveled to Charles Armstrong School in Belmont to address a student audience, he talked about having dyslexia, a learning disability that makes reading, writing, spelling, and speaking difficult because letters and sounds are jumbled. He named several successful individuals who have dealt with the condition, including Dr. Seuss, Henry Ford, Cher, and yes, the youngest mayor of San Francisco in over 100 years. "I still have dyslexia," Newsom said. "It doesn't magically go away, but it's okay. It gets a lot easier if you work hard. You're going to be better people because of the academic struggles you have right now. There is nothing in this world you guys can't accomplish. I promise you that." Employers want to hire talented people, but recruiting talent requires a great deal of time, effort, and money. An employer may write job postings, place newspaper and online ads, and review resumes to select qualified applicants. Another employer may choose to utilize costly placement services. Then there is the process of interviewing and weighing the qualifications of each candidate, and often, despite an employer's best efforts, the chosen applicants lack the skills, experience, and professionalism required for the job. Hiring talented people costs money. The average cost of placing an ad in a newspaper is $2,500. Referral costs range between $500 and $2,000, while internet posting rates range between $300 and $500 per listing. Add to that the cost of the human resources staff required to manage the process, not to mention the additional personnel needed to engage the candidate in the interview process, and the cost of recruiting a talented employee rises considerably. The estimated cost of these resources is 150% of the annual salary of the position being filled, up to 250% of the annual salary if the position is in management or sales. To put this into perspective, assume the average salary of an employee of a given company is $50,000 per year. Taking the cost of turnover at 150% of salary, the cost of turnover is $75,000 per employee. For a mid-sized company with 1,000 employees and a 10% rate of turnover, the annual cost of turnover is $7.5 million. All too often, this costly process results in employing an individual who appears highly talented on paper, but perhaps is not punctual, has difficulty working constructively with fellow employees, or leaves the organization as soon as something better comes along. Consider retraining costs when it comes time to hire a replacement. It is estimated that the cost of hiring the wrong person for the job is roughly 3 times the annual salary paid for that position, and that doesn't include the cost associated with the time it takes to find a replacement. Hiring talented people requires expertise. Recruiting employees is an art form, knowing where to look for the right candidates, how to evaluate an applicant's skills and experience, and how to effectively transition the hiree into an organization is a complex process. But what you may or may not know is that out of every 100 applicants interviewed, at least one has a disability. In fact, almost 22 million Americans of working age have a disability, representing 1/8 of all working age Americans. They are only half as likely as Americans without disabilities to be employed, 38% compared to 78% for non-disabled workers. Among those who are employed, there is a further gap in earnings. The median annual earnings for full-time year-round workers with disabilities is $30,000, compared with $36,000 for workers without disabilities. Ensuring employment opportunities for people with disabilities is important, not only for those individuals but also for employers, government, and society.